that she had already survived the worst of life, and she would survive Ward B and Dr. Payne, too. But she'd better get her hand off her neck before he decided she needed to talk about Killion again. Dr. Payne enjoyed her tragedy too much. She moved her hand away from her throat, and the scar went cold. She held the purple crayon by the fingers of both hands. For tonight's education group, Dr. Payne used his Moses parting the seas voice and took the empty seat next to her. He always sat next to her. We're going to talk about happiness and some of the research being conducted in the field of positive psychology. A group of Harvard psychologists have found that happy people have a particular set of habits. None of the patients on Ward B gave two shits about happiness. They were all too damned crazy to care about such an elusive term. Now, if this evening's group had been about how to score smokes, line up conjugal visits, or get extra pudding cups, most of the patients would have been taking notes. "I'm already happy!" Bo let out a high-pitched little girl giggle that sounded 9 kinds of wrong coming from a 300-pound guy. "I'm Bojangles, see?" He framed his face with his pudgy hands and smiled an open-mouthed, deranged clown smile. He called himself Bojangles, partly because of his chicken fixation, and mostly because the name sounded like a clown's name, and that's exactly what Bo thought he was, a clown. That crazy smile and his carrot-colored afro only solidified the delusion. "I'm so happy!" Bo swayed violently in his seat, bumping into her and knocking her into Dr. Payne, whose arm went around her, locking her against his hard body. He held her too hard and too wrong. The room fell away. Bo's shouting vanished. The only thing that existed was his horrible strength, trapping her against him, and the urge, the almost uncontrollable urge, to scream. "Are you all right? If he hurts you—" Dr. Payne's breath fanned across her cheek, smelling of sweet tea in summer. He should be the one who smelled like rotting chicken. Her body went into rigor mortis. She couldn't move, or breathe, or think. Bo jumped to his feet and moved into the center of the circle. Dr. Payne let her go. What had felt like an eternity of being pinned against him had probably lasted only 2 seconds, since no one seemed to notice. "Let's be happy together," Bo hollered at the top of his volume range and began twirling like a morbidly obese ballerina. "Bojangles! Bojangles! Bojangles!" He sang his name at an ear-throbbing volume. Dr. Payne didn't move, didn't blink, just watched Bo with an expression of absolute indifference on his face. That was part of how Mercy had known he was a sociopath. He never reacted normally, and he didn't have the excuse of being pumped full of antipsychotics and sedatives like the rest of the group. He never seemed threatened, no matter the situation, probably because he was always the biggest threat in the room. Bo pirouetted to a stop in front of her. "Dance with me, baby doll!" He snatched her up against his flabby body and hurled them around. His rotten chicken stench assaulted her nose, but no matter how bad he stank, she wasn't scared of him. Bo would never intentionally hurt her or anyone else. He was like a mastiff pup. He didn't understand how big he was, or how strong, or how his size could intimidate. "Bo, I don't feel like dancing right now." She pushed against his pudgy man-boobs. His bottom lip jutted out, shiny with saliva, but he stopped and let her go, just like she knew he would. His chest bellowed, his lungs wheezed and whistled. Hauling around 300 pounds would do that to a person. "Now, why don't you sit down, catch your breath, and let Dr. Payne finish tonight's—" Bo began toppling over sideways, taking his time to fall, the way a giant tree goes down in a thick forest. She reached out to grab him, but his momentum and weight were too much. He landed, knee, hip, then shoulder, the sound of flesh slapping concrete punctuated by the thud of heavy bones. Where Bo had been only a second before, Dr. Payne now stood, staring at her, not at the man on the floor. And that's where her ability to sense bad intentions fell short. Spontaneity. When someone acted without planning, her internal warning mechanism failed every time. She could never fully rely on it. "What did you do to him?" "He was done. He was going to sit down." The moment the words flew out of her mouth, she wished she could suck every syllable back inside and swallow them down whole.